Polar bear country, bop bop bop. Polar bear country, bop bop bop. Polar bear country. Good morning, my neighbors.
I don't appreciate this kind of behavior first thing in the morning.
You slept until almost 9.
We literally just are packing our sleeping bags, screaming.
Ted and I have slept in the most of the entire trip yet. And that's that.
Look at my hands from squishing mosquitoes.
Ted's hands have squished mosquitoes etched into them. Today we're starting the day off with a raging class 4. That's preceded by a 4-kilometer long stretch of class 2-3, which sounds just cray. And we're really hoping we can run it all. Yeah, basically we're gonna try to break camp quickly. Wanted to take some time to take a few casts here in the eddies around camp. We didn't really get to do that last night after epic fish fry. So yeah, we're just gonna basically, you know, pack up in the tent and pack camp up and get the canoes loaded and push off into some raging whitewater torrents. Should be fun. Day 20, no? Day 20. Seal. Today we're heading into polar bear country, and usually the polar bears come up river up to 70 kilometers, and they probably do that because they're following seals, because polar bears eat seals quite often. So that's going to be an added you know, concern, but also really cool because we might get to see a polar bear in the coming days. Using a windbreak means you save a lot of gas because the wind doesn't just blow all your heat away. So you boil faster, save a ton of gas. So whenever there's a wind, right now there's kind of a steady wind, I try to come up with something to block that. Did you say you saw a deer fly?
Not coming back so much.
Right.
That's kind of okay, no?
Yeah, the ride on Hudson Bay, we have to paddle out to his boat and then drive 70 kilometers in his boat. So yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Remember Joe? We were like, so-and-so did it, and he's just like, why?
Yeah, it's hard enough. It's not about this is possible. Of course it is. Oh, it's just one of those things. That's what you said. I think it looks really like.
Better go have a look at the maps. Are we gonna try to make it 30K today?
I don't know. Maybe 5 days and only 100K.
Right.
That's 20 a day.
Okay. Yeah. Dew, I guess. Moisture in the air. Coming down the last ledge on 9 bar, I skimmed a rock and Ted came down and he said, oh, I hit a rock.
This right here?
Yeah.
I guess just the way it hit and the weight with me sitting there. Maybe it was like a pointy rock or something, so it was like, you know, just a strong abrasion.
Yeah.
You know? Something weird.
He must have just come down and dropped really hard on like a jagged pointy rock because it completely smashed a huge hole of his skid plate and ripped it right off, and now it's all like soft, so it obviously is like shattered the gel coat there, which is crazy because I have a boat made of Tough Stuff Expedition 2 that I've like literally beat the hell out of and been tandem with a full load and smashed on rocks and nothing like that's happened, so just kind of bad luck. But now we're worried, what if it gets worse? What if it starts leaking into the air pocket and we have like a host of other issues? Hopefully it won't be an issue, because one of the things about high waters, even though there's tricky, swirly currents, huge waves, is that there are less rocks. So anyways, he's just throwing some marine epoxy putty on there on the weakest part. Hopefully that gives it, you know, a little more protection.
Got one.
Oh, lost one. Too small.
Go try down by the canoes.
Nice grayling. Woo!
Took a little extra time this morning to do some fishing in the eddies here. I didn't really pick at them last night because we already had fish for dinner. It was getting late and I wanted to save them for this morning, but some pretty good action and a lot of fun too. Grayling don't keep very well, so we were going to kind of release what we had, but Ted got one that I guess somehow died or must have gotten the gills, so we're just going to gut that one, put it in a Ziploc, keep it in the food barrel, and hopefully add another one to the dinner fare tonight as we head along our way. And great sort of end to the morning at camp. We're making good time, so we're not as rushed as we were earlier on in the trip. However, we do know that the whitewater rapids take a lot longer to negotiate, and today we have another serious advanced level whitewater day with enormous volume, high water, and a lot of unknowns. Will it be like that crazy one that we tried to sneak and you know, turned out to be a real handful of heavy, powerful swirly currents? Or will it be like the beginning of 9 Bar where sure it was challenging, but you know, it was manageable? So we don't know really until we get there. Will we have to portage? Will we have to line? All these kind of unknowns. But you just gotta, you know, take what you can when you get there and look at it and come up with a plan, and that's really all you can do, and just be as safe as possible. So my assumption is that there's going to be a lot of fun runnable rapids, and hopefully if some are super big we can kind of manage to sneak down the side if it's like a class 5 or something like that, sort of like we did with the last one. So still seeing a lot of seals all over the place. Seals popping up in the eddy below our little island campsite, above our little island campsite. One of them popped up and looked at our canoes and looked upset because it clearly wanted to sun itself on the rocks there, but we'd taken its spot. So yeah, next step is just load the boats, try to get out of here. Looks like we have an absolutely beautiful day, warm but not scalding hot. But yeah, time to move on. Awesome morning here, and really fun to catch these Arctic grayling.
Well, we're on the river. Took a while to get going this morning. We slept in, did some fishing.
Rapid is completely unmarked on the topographic map or in our river notes.
But also, I had to take some time to repair my canoe and sort of let that epoxy set for a little bit. But now we are headed out, and got a little bit of a fun rapid to play here right before we got to get hard left to scout a big class 3-4, and right now I got to get left to avoid a ledge that looks like it's cutting pretty far across the river.
I'm just gonna front ferry over on top of this ledge. Front ferrying, man, very important skill to know for river travel, particularly on this river that's extremely wide.
Hey, you see that boulder mid-river?
Yeah.
Some of them look like maybe you could run it, but it's not high enough that you could. You'll just smash it.
Just keep your eye out for little drops in elevation.
Right, yeah. Yeah, those powerful like low head dam keepers, there's been a couple.
Well, wait, like look at this. Look at this freaking ledge here.
Anyway, we have a nice hot day, which makes running rapids safer in general. And makes you kind of feel a little less terrified in some sort of way.
Yeah, like that you'd probably dump if you went into that.
Yeah, for sure.
See how unassuming it looks from upriver?
Right.
It's so hard to see. You really have to know how to read a river, because something that seems like nothing from upriver, when you get up to it, it'll be huge. So to see a ledge or like a large rounded boulder that spills over, things that you have to avoid without, or you'll dump if you hit them, you have to know how to read the river.
Wow, what a massive river. And like to be this wide with this much current, pretty wild.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous river though. But we are getting more boulders in this stretch. So we got big volume and boulders, not as many because of the volume, but We sort of have both things. Pushy, boiling, curling, whirlpools, eddies, and huge boulders too. Crazy. You can see a lot of damage here from breakup. All these smashed over trees here. Trees with the bark rubbed off of them. And this is all ice damage from breakup. And the ice flows get forced through here. They're just so powerful, they just smash down the trees. And it looks like our raging class 3-4 is coming right up around that corner. Yeah.
Like so, ferry over, far right, then middle, then kind of get right again.
Huh, okay.
You know?
Looks sort of like,
I think there's a ledge here,
looks
kind
like
of.
a pretty straight line. Damage from flooding, and all the way up to that tree there. Look at those branches snapped off, marks on the trunk there.
All these bushes here too are all just like ripped, and these boulders have been moved in here.
I mean, we have high water for this time of year, but there's the water there now.
What happens
And
though too,
there's where the water gets to, up there.
what happens though too is in places like this where there's the current,
It backs it up.
well, the ice stacks.
Right.
Right, and then push up, and then it backs the water up, and then the ice just literally, look at that, it bulldozed those
Yeah, like
trees
an
up
ice
there.
dam. Yeah. Looks like
A
it.
pinch point, it backed the water up, and the ice stacked and stacked, you know?
But the water still gets way the hell up there.
Right.
That's flood, you know?
Yeah. Really thankful. Just blew a tire. Really thankful we're not having to travel in anything like that. We have high water, but that's, you know, extreme flooding, ice breakup conditions. It's literally trashed this whole area. Really hard to walk through. Current opened the ground here. That damage is up on shore by the trees there. Is knocked over. There's our canoes down there, so gives you an idea how violent it would have been.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Yeah. This part's just like easy up here. Around the corner it gets raging. Hey Ted, it looks like we should be pulling up at the next point to scout.
Well, Jim's saying it looks like maybe we should be pulling up at the next point to scout. Not this one. Maybe the higher waters creating the rapid further up. Oh yeah.
Looks like this next rapid is going to be best run on the right. Or we could just go for it and run the whole thing on the right too. But I'd say right now we should, instead of getting down there, I'd say we get over to the other side now. Because if we can't run this left, we're never going to be able to get over to the right from that point. So like if we want, we can get over.
Looks like there's a ledge on the far right, but it dissipates into a V.
From here, it looks like you can run it on the far right.
Right.
You know, and we could scout it from that eddy. Just it might be hard to catch it because it's like a ledge at the top and boiling.
Yeah, pretty big rollers in front of that eddy. Might not be a good idea.
I mean, the other thing we could do is just walk all the way down there. You know. Potentially, our only option is to just freaking get over to the right and just run it from here, you know, which is pretty ballsy though, eh? You know, don't you think? I think it's kind of terrifying.
Like you see there's like a splashing right before the corner.
Ted and I have scouted this rapid as best we can, and it's looking okay, but we can't really get up close to it on the left, and the current's just too pushy, so we're having to scout from way back, and there's a long class 2 above it that isn't normally there just because of the high water. So basically from here we're going to get over to the right and run it. It's kind of hard really without walking on a sloping hill through thick bushes for round trip about probably almost 2 kilometers to really do a better job at scouting. But we do have some river notes, which is helpful, so I think we're going to go for it. We do have an eddy on the right that if we get close to it, it starts looking crazy. The eddy's got like a ledge at the top and like boiling current, it looks like anyways, but we could probably get into it if we really wanted to. So
Tip of it, and if you
yeah.
miss it, then
yeah, if you miss it, then you might be washing down the rapid backwards. So that's kind of our bailout plan, I guess we'll call it.
You shouldn't be going down to.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, so the only thing here that makes this really tricky is if we tip in this rapid, it's almost immediately followed by a 4-kilometer stretch of serious whitewater where the river drops 15 meters, runs through almost continuous class 3 boulders and everything. It would probably smash our canoes to oblivion. So that's what's making this extra concerning. So my heart's pumping a little bit, but I think we're gonna be okay. Like even if we make the front ferry, look, remember how...
This shouldn't be as hard as that. But
no.
The river's also way wide.
Yeah.
We're just tracking our boats upriver a bit here because the current is so strong, and we want to make sure that we can get the river right with enough time before we get pushed where we can't, where we shouldn't be.
All right, Ted, we got this, buddy.
From here, it honestly looks like being a little more middle is better.
Like right here almost.
So hot. I just ran that rapid. Heck of a lot of fun. Just like big water, class 3. No real boulders to contend with. A bit of a ledge at the bottom we had to skate, but lots of room. And I was just sweltering. So I just jumped in the water with my dry suit on, and it's cooling me right down.
Well, just ran the class 3-4, hit the biggest standing wave that I've hit the entire trip. Super exciting. I was pretty nervous going into it, really trying to pick what channel's best. You see crazy stuff here, you see crazy stuff there. The middle, okay, trying to keep my eye focused on that, not looking at the stuff I don't want to hit, because if you do that, you end up naturally gravitating towards it. And so I found a channel through some crazy stuff, but still hit a massive wave. And it was super fun, but yeah, scary for sure going in it. And then the end part of the rapid turned out to be okay. There was a ledge, but by that time the current wasn't bad. And awesome, fun, and good to have that behind us too. Ted actually pulled over in an eddy closer to shore, just upriver, and pulled his canoe up and just like jumped in the water, because we put our dry suits on for this one. And it's not exactly roasting hot, but it is hot in the dry suit, and it's a hot day for this part of the world too. So yeah, I just pulled mine off. You really can't wear it too much, but wow, you're just using so much energy, even dry suit or not, just paddling, prying, back paddling, you know, you name it, bracing in a rapid that big and that long that it can be tiring. And on that note, the next one we have coming up is a 4-kilometer long rapid. A lot of it is class 3, so that is going to be intense to say the least. And then after that, we probably have we have like one more rapid and then several river miles to put behind us, which hopefully we'll see another wolverine, some wildlife, maybe catch a few more fish. So today's going well, as long as we can keep our boats in one piece, keep our bodies in one piece, and successfully run these rapids. All in a day's work.
Would have been harder tandem because you would have had that front weight, more easy to swamp, but yeah, it was just a freaking blast. Freaking awesome fun run. Well, I was not expecting to see ice. So this is kind of neat. This is all ice here on the bank still. Pretty wild. Who would have thought? Rock solid too. It's kind of snowy here. Quite the ice I'm standing on. Like, look at how tall it is compared to the river or side of the riverbank here. Quite solid.
We'll bust out the beach ball. We should have brought beach balls. Noses of these seals. Ice area.
Look at this ice.
Crazy. This whole area just looks like it's been pulverized by ice in high water, eh?
Yeah, man. Some sort of ice stack bridge happened here, and it just like never stopped. That's a like thick piece of ice too.
Crazy.
It's like rock hard.
You know that you're in the north when you see ice like that in like July.
July 13th, I think.
Mid-July, yeah.
Should we chip some off for our drinks?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Looks pretty filthy though.
It does. But I like it filthy.
Cool.
Where the hell did that come from? Man, I almost bombed into a hole.
Okay. Well, this next stretch is noted as C1 start to C3 continuous. C3, 15-meter drop in the river over 4 kilometers. Yeehaw! Look at the ice bags!
On the other side too.
I can actually feel the cold air from it. Look at this ice canyon, dude. Freaking seal jumping right in front of me. That was freaking wicked. Wicked rapid.
Dude, that was so f***ing amazing.
Absolutely breathtaking. Just a wild rodeo through this canyon of ice. So cool. There's like almost like river glaciers. Like the pack ice must have really built up this year.
Tundra. So we're just on a little island grabbing a little bite to eat.
There's just more and more seals popping out of the woodworks here. Like
These guys.
it's a baby. It's trying to bite the horse slide. that was the baby, and it's going around, I guess, with its mom, who was just in the water beside it, and it just got out, and I don't know, it was so freaking cute.
See a bald eagle swimming across the river here. Or sorry, flying. Yeah, so Ted and I just pulled over and there's just seals all around it. Are you pooing in the river? I think you are. Just tons of seals sunning on the rocks. A little baby one came up on the rocks just on the other side of this island, and then there's another little one right here. Really special little spot here, it seems like. We got like a tundra island and starting to look more and more like barren tundra country as we get closer to Hudson Bay. We're still a ways from Hudson Bay, but we don't have to make a ridiculous distance today, and we're past the two most terrifying obstacles of the day too, so more to come as well. But we're going to take a little side channel and cruise past these islands, see if we can't see any more wildlife. Should we bail on this behind the island thing? That area was seals everywhere, crazy ice canyon, tundra, gorgeous lighting. It's quite late. Ted and I have made it practically nowhere today, which is a little concerning, but I think we'll be all right. We don't have to make it super far today, but wow, what a cool spot. Followed by some seals. They're curious.
I think there's seals, mom and a little baby.
Are they making that noise?
Yeah. Just cruised through some beautiful meandering little islands there, lots of seal pups, and but now I'm floating into a 2 kilometer long class 2, and I'm not exactly ready yet. There we go. think I've spotted another what looks like an antler on the shore, and I think it's a caribou antler. It is a caribou antler. Sick bud.
A caribou antler. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Boo, 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 boo. Caribou. Go, go, caribou.
So Ted spotted a cool caribou antler here. We're just gonna paddle another 10K. The river's really widened up into almost a lake. Not a ton of current here, but not too much wind. Definitely not a headwind, so bugs aren't bad. And yeah, we're gonna make camp. You know, we're gonna probably do another roughly, you know, 8 to 10K or something like that, and find a place to stay for the night. We're actually finding this part of the trip not too stressed, not too much of a push, and we're glad that we did push through those huge lakes and other parts of the trip that were very, very challenging. And right now, because of the weather's on our side and the current and our ability to run all the rapids, we're you know, finding the days a little less draining and less of a like panicked push to try to make our kilometers, which is nice. Still, you know, whitewater terror, so you know, maybe it balances out, but if it keeps up like this, we should be making our destination. After today, only 4 more days from this trip, and we're basically entering into polar bear country right now. We're camping at about the 70-kilometer mark, which means 70K to the mouth in Hudson Bay, and that's how far polar bears come up. So hopefully we see one not too close. I don't really see anything over here, dude.
Oh, this looks pretty good. Yeah, it looked pretty steep.
We don't know what species of bird these are. Does anybody know? Tell me in the comments.